Welcome back, Libra. I'm Ryan with Arrows of Love. Today we're going to do your mid-July 2021 Love Tarot reading. As always, we start with the astrology and what's happening in the sky because that will inform us about what's happening in the cards. So today is July 23rd, and today is a full moon in Aquarius. And this is a particularly interesting full moon because we're going to have two sets of full moons in Aquarius. The moon is at the very first degrees of Aquarius. The sun is sitting at the very first degrees of Leo. And for you, Libra, Aquarius is your fifth house, and the fifth house is a house of romance, fun and games, leisure, karmic rewards, sports, fun, just having a good time. It's a very joyful house overall. The sun is sitting over in Leo, and that is your 11th house. Leo is 11 signs past Libra. The 11th house has to do with friends, group associations, the collective, helping out people less fortunate, your hopes, wishes, and dreams, long-term goals. And it also has this element of rebellion, independence, detachment. So the 11th house can also be a house of financial gains too. It's right after the 10th, which is achievements, and after achievement usually comes financial gains. So full moons always mark some type of culmination. It's the end of the lunar cycle. It marks endings, closings, but also possibly new beginnings as well, as doors close, windows open. And we're going to have this cycle repeat in just 28 days because we have this set of full moons sitting in Aquarius this year. Last year it was sitting in Cancer. This year it happens to be in an Aquarius. So you kind of get a redo if you screw this one up. So I'm telling all the signs that right now. So just know that there's this emotional element because the moon is involved here. And when it's in the fifth house, this has a lot to do with children many times. So some of you could find out that you're getting pregnant. The moon represents family, home, and the mother. So you can see the connotation between the fifth house and a full moon sitting in the fifth. So this could also be friends getting pregnant as well because your 11th house is being activated, and that's a house of friends. So if you don't want to get pregnant, know that too. Just saying. So it has a lot to do with fun, romance, children. So this could also be the ending or culmination in relationships as well. I want people to know that sometimes the fifth marks an ending of a fling, a friends with benefits situation perhaps. So know that sometimes this is the way it works out, but it's also, the culmination of emotional attachment of some type, and it just happens to be in the 5th and the 11th. And generally speaking, they're actually pretty good houses, but they can be difficult when there's these full moons, especially two sets of them within 30 days. Venus, the planet of love, harmony, relationships, beauty, cooperation, negotiation, and sexuality, just ingress into Virgo over the last 2 days. And here, Venus doesn't do actually quite so well. It's in its fall position in Virgo. And let me explain a little bit. Venus is your ruling sign, Libra. Venus also rules Taurus. And in Pisces, it is exalted. And at the exact opposite side of Pisces is Virgo. So here, Venus doesn't actually do so well. And this could come up with women's issues. This could come up with potentially issues with reproduction. Not saying someone's going to lose a baby necessarily, but there could just be complications. And I just had one viewer also going through a fifth house transit indicate that she just had high blood pressure and she happens to be pregnant. So it's things like that come up. Swollen feet, for instance. Just those little irritations could possibly come up when Venus is sitting in Virgo. It's also this classic tension between head and heart. It's the desire to want something, but the head is telling you, the mind is telling you something else. And the reason for that is Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is this intellectual, business savvy planet. It's more on the rational side as opposed to the sensual side of Venus. So it's a classic tension between what's in the heart and what's going on in the head. And you could just have this tension going on. For you, Libra, Virgo is your 12th house. It's a hidden house. It's isolation, it's confinement. It can also be research and introspection. So it's a good time to do some research if that's what you, if that happens to be what's on your mind right now. The 12th house in Vedic astrology, the Indian practice, connotates the 12th house with intimacy. So, intimate matters could come up for review at this time, and Venus being in It's fall position in the 12th, hidden things. There could be some reality checks on intimate matters for you over the next 3.5 weeks. The good news is that Venus is cruising through. She's at top speed right now, going through Virgo, and she's going to be coming into her home sign of Libra. That's you, yay! In about a month or so. So that's really good overall. That brings popularity. That brings cooperation and negotiation, fairness, beauty. All of the good feels basically that you get with Venus, and people can be more attracted to you. But when Venus is in the 12th, I'll just give you a personal story. Last year, Venus retrograded in my 12th house. I'm a Cancer rising, and it was retrograding in Gemini. And I met someone during that time. I thought this could go the distance. It was a very passionate romantic relationship, and it turned out that he was attached to someone else and went back to an ex. So that's a story of Venus in the 12th, and now that it's sitting in Virgo, I just want people to be aware sometimes this isn't always the most pleasant of transits. It can bring up a lot of hidden things, buried emotions, jealousy, possessiveness, it's things unseen. So I want you to be aware of that. But like I said, good news is that it's going to be in your sign in just a month. So I got to hang in there overall. But the sun right now is sitting over in Leo. And for you, that is a house of financial gains. That's the house of group of friends, group association friends, organizations, helping out the collective. It's also associated with democracy. The French Revolution, the American Revolution happened during the same time when Uranus was found in the sky, and it's associated with the 11th house. So there's this element of detachment, freedom, rebellion, independence as well. So you could be wanting to break free of something, wanting to break free of relationships, wanting to break free of bad habits, toxic situations, toxic people. So that's what's happening in the sky right now. All right, so we're going to do your love reading. I'm going to do a modified Celtic cross for you today. It's a 6-card spread with the tarot. Then I'm going to pull 1 card from the Angels Oracle deck for your advice. These are general readings. Messages won't resonate with all of you. Be sure to check out your ascendant or rising sign, your Venus or your moon if it's not Libra. If you like these videos and would like to see more of them, please click the like button and subscribe. It helps the channel and it's very much appreciated for me. And you get to see more of my smiling face. All right, so we're going to see what's going on with you, Libra. One other thing about that 5th house, Saturn is sitting over there too. Taskmaster Saturn. Saturn brings in restriction, delay. It's associated with old age, decay, death sometimes. So when the moon's sitting over there, the moon and Saturn, they don't always get along. And sometimes this brings on feelings of depression. So I want you to be aware of that. So if you're feeling down in the dumps, be sure you are taking care of yourself and your mental health during this time, because sometimes Saturn triggers this feeling of depression sometimes. So I just want you to be aware of that. I'm not trying to scare anyone, but bringing conscious awareness to some of these things actually does help people quite a bit. So I want you to be aware. All right, let's see what's going on with you, Libra. This is for Libra. Okay, feeling good about that. I'm going to give the angels one last shuffle here. All right. First card out, Libra, is going to be the general energy of the reading. Here we go. 4 of Swords. Yeah, so this is a period of rest. This is a period of introspection and isolation. This usually is followed by the 3 of Swords, which can be a feeling of loss or heartbreak. So this is really a time for you to get in touch with your innermost needs, to do some realignment, to do some reassessment, and to figure out your next move. So if things have been kind of down in the dumps lately, feeling a little depressed, It's a good time to take things for yourself. Venus is your ruling sign. It's in that 12th house of confinement, isolation, research, and introspection, and that's exactly what the Four of Swords is. The next card out is going to be what's crossing you. This is your immediate influence. Queen of Swords. Ooh, ice cold baby. Yeah. So Queen of Swords could be an air sign, so this could be you. Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. And the Queen is cunning, and she's cutting with her words. I liken her to Miranda Priestley from The Devil Wears Prada, if you guys remember that movie. I'm dating myself a little bit here, but it's kind of like the CEO boss that has no qualms telling you exactly what she thinks and not mincing words. So you could be dealing with this character, or you could be exhibiting this character right now. She slices with that sword man, and it can be cutting at times. So you got to be aware of this person. She's not always the friendliest queen in the deck, but she gets you know what done. So sometimes she serves a purpose. Other times you just got to be really careful of your words. So be aware of that. Next card out is the Destiny's card. This is kind of where things are going. Nine of Wands. Yeah, you're a little bit of a wounded healer. You got some healing to do. This is a healing card. This is introspection. And the 9 is very much the wounded warrior. He's got the bandage over his head. Who just got this one? I think Aquarius got this as well. It was either Aquarius or Gemini. I can't remember which one. So you could be dealing with one of them right now. But he's a little bit stuck and not really making any moves right now, kind of taking in everything around him, taking in the landscape, and just taking a rest. And he's letting himself heal. He's got his walls up right now. And that's usually from some pain or from some form of loss. So right now, it's very much a time for healing and for you to go inward and do some real introspection about what's to come next and what it is you want and what aligns with you. Next card out is the distant past, the Devil. So this is a Capricorn card. Pluto is sitting over in Capricorn right now. And for you, this has to do with home, family, foundations, and roots. So you could be reviewing the foundation of your relationships, thinking about what do you want to build your relationships on. It's looking at foundations. The Devil is also indicative of control issues, not letting go of toxic cycles, toxic patterns, toxic habits, toxic relationships, toxic people. And you'll notice the Lovers are on here too, right? Here they are. And they're chained, but the chains are very loose, and they can unbreak the chains at any time. So to me, this is always symbolic of a karmic cycle that needs to end. It's some type of toxicity that needs to come to an end overall. And I think that's really what this Four of Swords is all about here. It's probably come to light. Probably was pretty cutting. You're doing a little bit of healing right now, but you understand that this was the the antagonist. This is what got it going. Whatever this represents to you, some type of toxicity, it has to go, and it's in the past now. Next card out is the recent past. Yeah, you're looking out at the options. You're waiting for your ships to come in. You're deciding what to do next. It's literally the guy standing out on the seashore waiting for the next move. He's looking out at the options, deciding what's right for him. Not making any moves just quite yet. And to be honest, Libra, I don't think you should. Your ruling planet sitting in the 12th house in this fall position, it's not time to be making any drastic moves in love or in relationships. It's very much a time of taking time for yourself and figuring out what it is you want. The ships will come in, but you got to make sure it's the one with the right cargo, right? It's the one with all the goods, the one that you actually want. Leave the crap behind. This is the outcome. King of Wands. So you're going to be coming back into your power, and I like this for you. You could be dealing with a fire sign as well. So this is also representative of Aries, Sag, and Leo. We're in Leo season right now. Again, this is the house of friends, group associations, hopes, wishes, and dreams, long-term goals. So, you know, you coming into your own, essentially, you're being bold. You're going to be assertive. You're going to go for what it is you want. And this is the king, not the knight, which means you've learned your lessons. You've leveled up spiritually, and now you're ready to go for what you want. This is the outcome. Once you do the healing work, once you do the introspection, once you're clear on your boundaries and your values, you get this, and this is very good. I like the king here for the outcome overall. Let's clarify, please, the devil. Yeah, so you were trying to bring something new in. This usually has to do with wanting a steady relationship, something that's meant to last. Pentacles are usually indicative of methodical, steadfast energy. They don't move very fast. These are the earth signs. And the devil is a Capricorn usually, so this has to deal with earth energy. So it was you trying to bring something new in. It was you trying to make a relationship work. You making an offer, and maybe you know, you got to know, and now you're doing some healing work here. So I would say take the time for yourself right now, Libra. Don't be making any rash moves for the next 4 weeks. Because Venus right now is not in a good position. But you're going to be feeling good. You're going to be feeling good once you deal with this. Once you get over the pain, once you do your healing practices and your healing mechanisms, things are going to turn around for you. Let's pull a card from the angels for the piece of advice. Yeah, keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. So I really like this overall. It's asking you to keep an open mind. Maybe you got to try something different in love here. If you're repeating the same cycles in love and you're bringing in the same type of people that bring in heartbreak, or they're just in and out, it's time to really take a look at what it is you're attracting. And it's the laws of attraction, right? If you're putting energy out where you want something long-term, you want something that's steady, you want something that's still exciting, right? This guy wants a little bit of excitement, and there's nothing wrong with that. We all want excitement and passion, but you might need to just broaden your horizons just a little bit. So maybe there's someone out there that's got an eye on you, and you've kind of passed over them and thought, well, this isn't for me. Maybe you need to take a second look. That's for some of you. It's a good reading. You got some healing work to do, and that's okay. We all go through these periods at time, but really take a look at this character or this situation. I wouldn't be putting on the rose-colored glasses. I wouldn't be sweeping it under the rug. I wouldn't be ignoring the red flags. They're there for a reason, and it's asking you to let go of something. It's some type of control issue that needs to be reassessed, and once you do that, you're going to be golden. All right, Libra, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know how it's resonating for you. We'll see you next week for your situationship reading. Until then, take care.